Workouts, they kind of continue to be the gym replacements for so many of us during the pandemic. And a lot of us are feeling the pinches and the pains because without a personal trainer at our side at a gym in person, some of the movements and the motions that we're making during workouts, they might be incorrect. So I've got Sarah Peterson from FGCU's Department of Rehabilitation Sciences. She's joining me live via Zoom this morning. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for being with us. So I want to ask, as more people are working out from home, what would you say is the biggest mistake that people are making right now that they can be careful of?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest pieces is people tend to go straight into high intensity exercise rather than picking something that's slightly challenging for them individually and then progressing from there. Another aspect is not performing a warm up ahead of time. So taking that 5 to 15 minutes or so to truly prep your body in order to prevent as much injury as possible.
Right, so do you hear that at home, folks? Start easy. You don't have to go all the way to the 45-pound dumbbells right away. But I want to ask you, is there a certain move or something in particular that you think injures people most often?
Yeah, kind of going back to, talking about that high intensity piece, going straight into jumping, it's better to make sure that you can do a fundamental movement. Like if you can do a particular body weight squat, you want to make sure you can do that before you go straight into something power or jumping. So I think that's a big part of it. But also when it comes to adding weights, starting off really low, getting your form proper before moving up towards adding resistance. So I think that's part of it as well.
So what if you are worried about your form? You're doing these workouts maybe at home, not watching a video, just kind of doing your own thing, and you don't feel comfortable going to gyms yet. We're in this weird world of COVID. So is there something that people can do now to get someone to help them with, hey, maybe you're doing this wrong?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a super common question that people have, but in this pandemic situation where people are more comfortable at home, one of the biggest aspects is a lot of personal trainers are actually forced to work virtually. So we truly get a lot more interaction, even though we're on a virtual standpoint. So, reaching out to experts that they do that for a living. They love assessing form and making sure that you're doing things properly. So whether that's, you're participating in live exercises yourself on a virtual basis with group exercise instructors or personal trainers, just asking them those questions to make sure that you're performing them properly.
And you're not supposed to be so sore the next day that you can barely walk, right? That's why it's important to start easy.
Yeah, that's a great point. Starting off with something that the next day you're kind of evaluating how sore you are. So you should be slightly sore in your muscle tissue, but it shouldn't be something that's immobilizing, and it also shouldn't be something where you feel it in your knees, your ankles, your elbows, your hips, something where it's more joint pain. So it's definitely something to assess, but a slight soreness isn't necessarily a bad thing. But there is that fine line between training and overtraining. So really listening to what your body's kind of trying to tell you.
I have to ask, is lifting the Girl Scout cookie to my mouth considered a good workout?
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
You earned it, right?
Absolutely. After taking a walk around the block or something. All right, Sarah Peterson from FGCU, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll make sure to put all of these tips on our website, fox4now.com as well, so you don't hurt yourself when you're pumping the iron at home. Eric, what's your